let's move on to generalized anxiety disorder, which has a variety of subtypes, panic attacks, OCDs, PTSD, and social anxiety. And so would you comment on that, what advanced nutrient therapy would do for these folks?
Okay, we have just recently now put together and beginning to publish the phenotypes of anxiety. And most doctors, including the doctors we work with, don't have the insight you have of the different types of anxiety. And there are three major forms of anxiety. And I think you already know what they are. For example, there are the overmethylated people who have excessive activity at norepinephrine primarily. And that means anxiety. And especially if they don't have enough GABA activity to balance that. So that's one of the major phenotypes. And that was the first one we knew about. Then the second phenotype, completely different form of anxiety, are people who have a copper overload. They simply have a metal metabolism problem in which they don't have the ability to regulate copper. Especially happens at hormonal events in females like puberty, childbirth, later in life, and menopause. And what happens is during those periods, their copper escalates. And now after the baby's born, the copper level is supposed to go right back to normal and more than doubles during that period. And high copper levels cause enormous increases in norepinephrine, which is an anxiety neurotransmitter, basically, and causes hyperactivity of norepinephrine firing. So that's one of the key forms of anxiety, and that's my favorite form because all we have to do is fix their copper and they become normal. I know you've experienced that. And these people can suffer the rest of their lives if they don't know that. All it takes is the blood test and you see their serum copper is sky high, and you know how to correct that. It takes a while, you have to be careful and cautious, but within 2 to 3 months, most of these people who've suffered many times for years are completely okay. So that's the second type. And the third type, you've already mentioned it, are the OCD type people that have the internal great tension and really very high anxiety. And OCD is an anxiety condition. And these people have this because of undermethylation. They're undermethylated. And this has a real impact on not the kind of anxiety where you see somebody walking down the street where you're a friend and you can see how anxious they are. Many of these people have great anxiety behind a calm exterior. You don't see it in their face or their actions. It's a completely different form of anxiety, but that's the third type of anxiety. We now can readily diagnose it, identify which form of anxiety a person has if they have generalized anxiety, and we have a roadmap how to fix it. And we also can suggest medications that might help if you want to employ them also.